process information like humans, right? So there are also designs, the scientists who are working on this. Interestingly, one thing which is very, very, uh, very typical of any human, like that's what sometimes people say, when the jokes they would say that, this backbiting and bleaching, that's what not the robots are going to do, or the AI agents are going to do. That's a very, very typical characteristic of human beings, right? But then, these human factors can also be there in those AI agents. Now, how is that? There could be these agents could these AI agents or the different applications and machines and all that can also have some implicit bias and discrimination, right? How is that possible? So, I'll just give you an example, a case study of Amazon. So, what Amazon did was, so like I was, giving you the example of one of the companies, senior executives with whom I was interacting, and he said that how part of the HR recruitment and selection process they have given it to the AI. Similarly, Amazon also had, given that job to Amazon. The AI agent. Now, what happened is that we saw that while doing the selection, the agent is somewhere excluding the women candidates. Okay, a gender bias it could look like on the surface. Now, how is that possible? Is it that something it was programmed like that, or it happened, in a pattern as a pattern? Actually, it happened as a pattern because sometimes you must have seen, like, there's, all these different social media apps and the different websites that you actually browse through. They give you suggestions on the basis of your past browsing history, right? The same way, this app or this AI agent, what it did was, it looked at the last 10 years applications, right? And it found a trend there. Where it saw that many male applicants were selected. So, unknowingly, the system actually tried to, kind of alienate or exclude some of the female candidates. Now, that's possible. Though it may not be programmed that way, but this kind of discrimination, bias and discrimination sometimes comes into play because of the pattern, the last few years pattern. In fact, there are very interesting cases about it. Like, for example, it was found out that in some of the US court cases, it was found that mostly the blacks were, they were actually found to be guilty, and the whites were actually not. And particularly, it happened when they gave it to AI agent. That is because of again the past history of doing things. So it may not be actually a bias towards the black, but it's because the agent, the AI agent, is programmed to do that over the years, right? So sometimes what happens is that this kind of human factors can also come into the AI agent and the AI apps. So therefore, we must talk about. There are also nowadays people have like I think in the introduction, the student was saying that I also do research in corporate governance and all that. So there is also something known as AI governance. So now people are talking about AI governance, AI accounting, AI auditing, right? So we are also trying to, the scientists are on the job how to also account for and take those AI agents or make them responsible for the actions if any negative actions that might take place. So there are things like fairness, inclusiveness, privacy and security of the data that that has been processed by the AI agents. Transparency is another thing, how to also ensure how the data that we get from the whole wide range of stakeholders, how to protect that data, then accountability, reliability, and safety. So, to conclude, I would say that when you're talking about particularly this, empathy and technology equation, when designing these apps and when designing these AI agents, probably we also need to keep in mind or consider all these things, right? I think this would give you a lot of pointers, ideas for the discussion in the panel discussion that's going to happen. You can even go beyond. I think that the moderator would lead you to. But this is what I thought would be useful and a very different perspective to how we look at the technology and empathy question. So thank you for your present hearing. Thank you all.
We sincerely thank you, ma'am, for your insightful speech and for motivating us as we begin this HR Conclave. Today, we are truly privileged to have among us a distinguished group of industry leaders and HR experts whose insights promise to make this session a deeply enriching experience. Each of them brings a wealth of knowledge, a real-world experience, and leadership to the table, and we are honored to welcome them to IMI Bhubaneswar.
To begin with, we are honored to welcome a distinguished leader in human resources, Ms. Jaya Kohli. Ms. Jaya Kohli, currently the Associate Director, People and Culture at Grant Thornton, Bharat LLP, brings rich experience in global mobility and strategic HR, with impactful roles at Nokia and Xerox. A certified global mobility professional, Ms. Kohli has been at the forefront of wellness, employee well-being, and gender inclusivity, transforming these initiatives into strategic drivers for thriving workplaces. With her blend of strategic insight and hands-on leadership, she creates environments where employees are empowered, valued, and inspired to perform their best. Let us all come together to give a heartfelt welcome to Ms. Jaya Kohli. I would like to request Sargam to escort ma'am to the stage. I would like to request Raghav to present a token of appreciation to Ms. Kohli.
Our next panelist is Mr. Rohit Ramani, India Talent Acquisition Lead at Marsh McLennan, where he shapes talent strategies for one of the world's leading professional services firm. With over 2 decades of experience in talent acquisition, executive search, and leadership, he has held key roles at CT, PwC, RBS, and DHR International, making a lasting impact in the field of human resources. What makes his presence with us even more special is that he is an alumnus of IMI Delhi, and we at IMI Bhubaneswar are proud to welcome him back to the IMI family. I request you all to join me in extending a cordial welcome to Mr. Rohit Ramani. I would request Anand to escort him to the stage, and I would like to request Akshata to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Ramani.
Next, we are honored to welcome a dynamic HR leader whose work goes beyond managing processes to truly empowering people and teams, Ms. Sudarshana Nayak. Currently the Head People Officer at ESSPL, with over 8 years of experience in the IT sector, she has led initiatives in talent acquisition, employee engagement, performance management, and compensation and benefits. Ms. Nayak is known for fostering innovation and nurturing young talent, contributing to programs like Smart India Hackathon and Technova, inspiring students to solve real-world challenges. I would like to request Wanshi to present a token of appreciation to Ms. Nayak.
To grace our stage, we now welcome Ms. Rajashri Datta, Senior Manager, Corporate Human Resources at Mortex Group. She brings expertise in strategic HR planning, talent management, employee relations, performance management, and HRIS implementation. Previously, as Human Resource Manager Asia at Ozeo.com, she aligned HR practices across India, Vietnam, and Bangladesh, optimizing manpower and driving organizational goals. She is passionate about shaping high-performing cultures and leveraging human capital for impactful business outcomes. I would like to request Kashish to present a token of appreciation to Ms. Datta Gupta.
Up next, we are delighted to welcome Mr. Ravi Narayan Swami, a distinguished professional with extensive global experience in investment due diligence and risk management. He has worked across APAC, EMEA, and North America, reviewing investment strategies, governance frameworks, and organizational structures of leading fund houses. Mr. Swine specializes in organizational due diligence, ESG integration, risk assessment and valuation, and has advised C-suite executives while supporting fund selection for private banking and wealth management clients. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ravi Narayan Swami, who brings distinction and inspiration to our gathering. I would like to request Anshul to present a token of appreciation to Sir.
No great discussion reaches its full potential without a guiding force. It is now my privilege to introduce the moderator for this session, Dr. Rahul Kanyal, Assistant Professor at IMI Bhubaneswar in Information Management and Analytics. He brings together deep academic expertise and hands-on experience, making him a guiding force for students and professionals alike. He holds a PhD in Operations Management and Decision Sciences from IIM Kashipur and a master's degree in Industrial and Product Design from IISc Bangalore. Before joining academia, Dr. Kanyal worked with Tata Motors R&D and BHAL, where he contributed to product development, simulation, and process optimization. A true believer in innovation and continuous learning, Dr. Kanyal continues to shape curious minds and analytic thinkers. His presence here today ensures that our decision will not only be insightful, but also very deeply engaging and impactful.
With such an illustrious panel and an accomplished moderator, the stage is perfectly set for conversation that promises to be both thought-provoking and transformative. Dr. Kanyal, we would now invite you to lead us into this exciting dialogue. Over to you, sir.
I'll go straight. In 1999, I watched a movie, The Matrix. And at that point of time, it was called as science fiction. 26 years hence, we talk about agentic AI. So the movie that was a fiction has gone to become a reality in front of my eyes. Now, if we talk about possibility of robots being emotional, being intuitive, it is possible. Because if we extrapolate this result, if Matrix is possible, Star Wars is also a possibility, right? So what I want to discuss here is that, do we want them to be intuitive, empathetic? Does that work for us, or does that not work for us? So house is open for your comments.
So, like, okay. So, being from finance background, I mean, I don't know anything about AI or technologies, quite, Chinese or Latin language for me. But like the kind of work we do in HSBC, we have been assigned with the generative AI, which HSBC has developed. So like what ma'am has talked about, there should be ethics, there should be governance, there should be restrictions. So everything is being pledged. So we have a discussion one day where one of our person who is actually leading the team, she said, Ravi, like what we should do, like because this is going to help us, because we're going to we write kind of 30 pages when we give our recommendations. So generally it takes 1 week to write a report. Now within 2 days I'm able to write that report using the HSBC generative AI. So like in Bangalore we have 2-member team. So now one person is going to be removed. Now that is one negative side. The second, what is the second one? The second one is I'm not able to think nowadays. I'm just preparing one summary and putting it into that model, and it is giving me the rephrase. Like I'm just writing like any of the biggest well-known writers. If you read my report before this implementation and now, so there is a hell and heaven difference. Now, what is the negative side? So, negative side is that one person is going to lose the job, right? So the problem is now that person, for that person, as like because he must be having his own mortgage, he must be having his own expenses. Then how is that going to be managed? And who killed that job? So the question before us now, the ethics, the governance, the whatever we are talking about. The question is, are we ready for it in India? Are we ready for it? Because the kind of unemployment we have, like you must have heard about our transportation minister Nitin Gadkari told once that I will not allow this Tesla trucks in India. Why? You understand the point? So the question now is, are we ready? We are not ready. Simple answer. Then what we should do? We should be empathetic towards others. Yeah.
Very good afternoon to all my respected panelists and my friends who are sitting out there. First of all, I'm really sorry, I've got a very bad throat. I don't know how my sound is reaching to your ears. I'll try to be sweet at least. So, as ma'am said, to focus more on the empathy side rather than the technology, because technology was there, it's there, and in future there will be something else. Today it's AI, tomorrow there will be something else. And I can see a lot of upcoming leaders' faces are here who would be again leading a panel discussion with that transformation. So if I talk about particularly about empathy and ethics lining together, being as a HR person, I don't find any competition in between. When a technology comes, the leader has to be more empathetic towards the team or the team members. So with the new transformation, as said, the future HRs has to be more alert, like how they will be dealing with the employees. They will be throwing out policies without understanding the situation of the employees, or they will just, ruthlessly turn out the employees as because a new technology has been introduced to our industry. So for me, I really couldn't find any challenge. Rather, maybe I'm sounding over positive, but it's not a very negative statement for me. This is like my fifth or sixth sessions where I'm saying that I might sound a bit overconfident that AI not going to, give challenges to jobs at least. So the challenges comes with the ethics, the culture, the sustainability of that employee, whether that person is performing or not. So all these criterias are considered when we talk about scarcity of job or anybody is scared of losing their job. It's not a technology, for me at least. This is one. Secondly, regarding the empathy, a balanced leadership is very much required, as I said. Taking up new challenges, new situations, creating new circumstances for the employees is very important as a lot of responsibilities comes to HR. Today's topic is again how HR is transforming in future. So as a HR, a lot of initiatives that can be taken to make that employee settle down with the company, with the culture, and definitely, of course, with the new technology-driven industry. This is one. The second point I would like to say, I always mention that in all my sessions, psychology and performance goes hands on hand. So that is again one of the very important point where empathy takes a part. Empathy is actually a long tenure, a sustainable word rather than sympathy. We can stay back on that word, find out situations, how the employees reacts and how the business modules also runs along with that. Right? So, Shudeshna.
Yeah, thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So I'm coming back to Professor Kanyal's question, that is, can technology or machines be empathetic? So yes, it is a good question, but first of all, we need to think all human. I mean, in wherever profession we are we empathetic till now? I would say 80 to 90% of our people still we are not empathetic. Either we are over empathetic or under empathetic. We definitely do not understand the difference between sympathy and empathy. So first, human beings, we need to be actually balanced where actually we have to show the proper empathy. And then we can actually talk about the machines or technologies. That would be a very short answer to Professor Kanya.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and so good to be back in an IMI, in a campus with students, and I was picturizing myself on the other side of the table, and I got an opportunity to sit today. So thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to also, in fact, we had a very nice conversation, panel discussion even before we came out here, so it was great exchange of ideas that we had. But what I'd like to talk about and to answer Professor Kanyal's piece is, why is there an if or? It has to be empathy with technology. Today when you look at it, empathy tells an organization the what. Technology tells us the how. What we need to understand is that both of them need to coexist. One cannot exist without the other. That's the first piece. The second piece is, it's absolutely important for each one of us out here to understand that the technology is the enabler for us to become productive, for us to become successful in what we are doing. Embrace it. AI might sound absolutely something completely out of the ordinary. It's not. When you look at it, when you look and try and use it, you will understand then it's enabling you, it's helping you to become a lot more productive, a lot more efficient. That's the one piece. The worry always, the fear is, to the point, Professor Mishra, what you were talking about is it going to overlook the biases? You gave the Amazon example. That was a very, very, very pertinent example. It was also because of the fact that, for example, the HR students would understand job descriptions. Job descriptions at some point of time were all made by males. The way it's written is all focused towards the males. So automatically, that is what would drive you to do it. I'll give you another example from a talent acquisition perspective. You have these technologies which sift through. I recently posted a job, and within 2 days I had 580 applications for it. Now, do I have the possibility of going through all 580 applications? It might be very difficult for me. And to be honest, it's tedious. That's when I use technology. But am I relying only on technology? Absolutely not. I will definitely allow technology to give me ranks. I will ask technology to stack rank candidates for me. And then me as the expert would probably go through and see, audit whether the technology has given me the right answer or not, or the right stack ranking or not. So the point which I wanted to make, Professor Kanya, is that it has to be a combination of both, which is going to be what the future needs to hold for us.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I completely second the thoughts of coexistence. Yes, both go hand in hand. Technology is there to simplify a process for the repetitive ones, and also to ensure that there's a line that is streamlined and followed completely. But I would also like to share an interesting take here, and I have an amazing memory, so you guys have to bear with me if I take some time to recollect that incident. I was going through some, content somewhere, and there was an example. We all know these Blinkit, Swiggy, and 10-minute delivery is something which is everybody is going for. Now, with this, one of the person shared that these delivery riders, what if Blinkit shares the age? So if somebody is in, age wherein he cannot climb 3 floors, he or she, then a person can go down and take it. That's what empathy is, along with technology. So you see, both has to go hand in hand. But then yes, it can be misused also. So that's where the ethics comes in place. That we have to ensure that it's not misused.
Thank you very much for your opinions. The next thing I would like to take up is how do we serve the AI tsunami? How do we serve the AI tsunami from the point of view of students? There can be two attitudes here. First one, because there's a demand for AI professionals, I'm going to upskill myself in AI. Next is, I'm going to pursue that thing that I truly love to do, the thing that my heart sings for. So which one of these strategies would you suggest for our students?
So I think if you study history, so there are 2-3 kind of inflection points. Starting from industrialization happened in UK, then you have World War II, then you have this internet bubble happening in 2000 and in mid-90s. So now every pundits, you listen to any YouTubers, like whoever telling this is AI tsunami is coming, and it is going to take away all your jobs. I mean, overnight you'll be jobless. Like what has happened to TCS, recent example. But like in my view, I think if you are creating a monster, like suppose you like whatever now we talked about all the negative sides, right? So if you're creating a monster, we should know how to take control of it, rather than giving them all the powers, so that will eat you one day. Like I told, when I started using AI to write my reports, I lost my creativity. I'm not able to think. I'm not able to kind of formalize my report. So that is making me like creative or like that. What is that making me? The use of AI. What is that making me? So like what sir told. Yes, there will be technology, but at the same time there should be human touch, because human is the most beautiful creature in this world. They are backbone of everything. They have created everything. So the day should not come that the thing that you are creating that is taking control of you. So there comes this empathy thing. I mean, all the business leaders, all the functional leaders, all the HR. It's not only for HR leaders I'm talking about. It's for everybody. Every field. It's not only corporate field. Each and every field, you should also create space for yourself. Or like the human civilization has seen a lot of things. It will survive.
As per your question, you were giving like two options, either yes or okay. I would like to rather. Instead of giving or rather giving yourself the option, why not using the technology as a collaborator? The way Mr. Rohit said, I mean, that's the right situation or rather the ideal situation. That using technology as a collaborator and creating the third opinion for yourself, as he said, that either this or the second one. If not both, then what is the third one? And that can be created by yourself. Thank you.
I'll give a very real life example of this technology and empathy, how the equation is. So in my organization, so we, as you must be knowing, there are RMG, resource management group, you get the bench report and all that. So, I mean, I'll take a little longer to tell you the story because you will really get to feel how empathy and technology work. So then we got the report that one of our employees, actually, she was not performing for last 7-8 months, and she was actually going from one team to the another, one team to another, and and that time the work from home after COVID that had ended, and we asked everyone to come to office. And after repeated reminders and sending letters, formal warning, and all, she had never come and she was not performing at all. So finally, it was the last day of her. We had given the mail and all, so she had to come and collect the. I mean, normally it is a termination letter, but we are very liberal. We do not. So we thought, okay, we'll give you the release letter and you go. And so the last day she came. Somehow I saw the report and I could feel like she is the person back in 4 5 years before, because I started my journey as a talent acquisition. So I understand, I could feel the people actually. That time she was very brilliant. I mean, she was very sharp and all. And the initial 2 years she had performed and got a 4.5 rating, where the highest rating is 5. So all of a sudden, what happened? Why she is actually categorized as a non-performer? So I thought, okay, though the decision and everything is final, but still I would just take 10-15 minutes to talk to her. What has happened to understand? So she came, and I was the person also. I had sent her the letter and everything, right? Because it was over phone. You were talking. That time she was not coming to office. So I asked her, no, you come. We need to meet and discuss. Okay. So when she came, then I thought, okay, without any bias, anything, I'll just listen to her what had happened. And what she actually shared, she is staying alone. Actually, she did not have her mother. Maybe she passed away. Her father actually he stays outside, and her grandparents, they are ailing. One of him, the grandfather, he was suffering from cancer, and the other person was actually very ill. So no one is there to take care of them, and recently she actually discovered that all this is going on, and she had to actually take care of them. And she could not focus on the work, and all the reporting managers, I'm talking about in my organization, no one could also be sympathetic, you say, or empathetic, you say. No one could even talk to her that what is the problem. Okay. And she is very strong headed. It's not, some people are like that, right? They do not very easily share their problems. So she never asked for any help, she never asked for anything, and she accepted, okay, you are asking me to go, then I will go. But when I talked to her, I understood that this is the problem. She is really not able to devote time, because she is completely pissed off with the thing, because personal thing she cannot avoid it. Then I told her, okay, so we will give you 10-15 days time or 2 months time or whatever time you need. You sort out your problems, because this problem you do not know when it is going to end. So I told, okay, we are holding your letter. So you go take 1-2 months break and let me know if you would like to continue. So I hold, because at least I have that authority to stop that for some time. So she broke down on that day, and then she told, okay, thank you for giving me time, and I'll do one thing. So when I offered this thing, then she, from her side, she offered that, okay, I will relocate my grandparents to a nearby place to our office, and I will try if I can come 2 days to office. I'll see. I said, okay, but now it's not required to come. You take 15 days and then come. So, unfortunately or fortunately, after 15 days, one of the grandparents, I do not remember, father or mother, grandfather or mother, expired, passed away. So, she was left with one person only, and then she, as promised, she has actually relocated to a nearby place to our office. She hired a nurse, okay, and within a month, everything was at least smoother, and she started coming to office. We assigned to a new project, and now she's again come back to that 4.5 meeting. Okay, and I really, when I think of our policies and process, I thank myself for at least giving that 10-15 minutes time, because it was a one-man decision. Okay, it is not working out, you go. But when you actually talk to a person, you understand what they are going through, because it's not just the reports which you are getting. You have to actually analyze, because this analysis with a personal touch, the system or technology cannot do. That a human brain or human emotion always actually need to do. So that is the example which you wanted to do. So actually she would not have lost anything. Actually we would have lost a valuable employee, but which we could save.
And Sudeshna, imagine if AI had looked at it only from a report perspective, what would have happened to the individual?
That's why just few minutes back
It's-
I told, it's not even AI. First, human being, we need to be empathetic.
Absolutely.
We are not.
Absolutely.
90% of
And that
people-
is the answer to the question.
Yes.
The answer to the question is that it's not a monster. It is an enabler which gives you information. It is up to us as individuals to make the right decision. And that's why we don't, going back to your point, it's not a monster. I think it's a very wrong thing to call it a monster at all. If I were on the other side of the table, as a student, imagine the situation where you have multiple applications that you have to make to, organizations, and nothing gets selected because there is an AI tool which is actually rejecting all of you. But if there is an individual on the other side of the table who's looking through something which is unique that each one of you has, like the what you had, the past information that was able to be available, that's going to make you a lot more again successful in your jobs, successful in getting a job itself in the first place. The one thing is, it is inevitable. Use it, but use it with your brains. Use it with your emotions. Do not use it blindly.
Another example I would like to take. that AI we use everywhere, and back into the 2000 maybe 18 or 19, we normally use all the different platforms for the interview and all. So that time we were using interview Mocha or something, I do not remember. So there was a huge pressure to hire PhD candidates. So we were actually going rampant for interviews and all, and interviews happened. 17, 18 candidates in a row got rejected, and that was a project delivery, so we had to hire someone. So then I thought, okay, all the 17, 18 candidates are rejected, but still, I would like to relook at it. Okay, so the top 10 candidates who were as per the rejection sheet, I thought, okay, let me just go back and then see. So I spoke to all 10, and out of that, I selected two. I said, even if they are rejected, still I'm going to give them a chance because we are not getting any candidates. And we hired those two, and one of them is an, I would not say an asset. I mean, everyone in corporate they say indispensable. No one is indispensable, but he is. He was such a great candidate. His communication is little weak. I mean, he's not that very smart or kind of very social. But whatever he speaks, two line he speaks, but very strong. So maybe that could have been an indication to the system that communication is not good, and he has been rejected. But he is the person who is the, key in that project. So there also we need to kind of use our intelligence.
I agree with you. So, see, when we say AI tsunami, it's there. It's there and we cannot escape from it. And in next 5 years, something else would be there. Something or the other would be there. Now it's up to you how you consume. Whether you want to, use that and save your time to upskill yourself, or do some other productive work, which is again for your benefit, or you completely depend on it, and somewhere at the end in the future you may feel that it's something which I don't feel good about now because I've already used to the maximum potential. So it all depends on you how you take it. It's again, when we say tech is the bane and a boon both. It's in your way how you take it.
Frankly speaking, when people say that AI is going to gobble up our jobs, I don't like it. I just joined 3 months back. So the same applies to these students. Many of them, let's say, didn't have any experience. They are yet to join it. But again, it's very natural. We feel uncertainty, a level of uncertainty when we think about these talks and these notions that we are talking about. So I want to ask you, is this uncertainty really coming from AI? Or is life inherently uncertain?
Can I start here, please? I just want to share my own example. So I was switching job during, just after COVID, and at that time there were a lot of, people who were being hiring that was going on. And when I went for an interview, I asked, this, it seems there is a session that everybody is talking about because of COVID and how it's going to be if you hire me. I don't want to be in the situation where, you say, okay, we don't need you, and you just go. So I was skeptical whether I should go ahead and move out of my comfort zone, or, continue with what I'm doing at the moment. But I'm so thankful that I did, because the kind of exposure I had with another company was amazing. It added to my portfolio along with what I was doing. So, given that in respect to AI, it won't, to develop that AI also, you would need people to drive that. It won't, do it by themselves. You need to put commands, you need to program it. So you need to create jobs for it. So jobs will be there. Yes, the one which are monotonous and repetitive may go out, but then you always have time to upskill yourself. So focus on that.
So it is not AI who is going to take our job or anyone's job. It is the person who knows and uses AI. So we also need to actually learn how to use AI. So earlier, people like content writer, there was a huge demand for that content writer, then graphic designers and all. But right now, you just write your prompt and everything is ready, right? But so now they also have to think, like they have to, because those are creative people. So now in creative people, they have to also think like how to go ahead from just designing the content, because their job could be taken away. But how to actually narrate a story, develop the storytelling ability or something. So right now, let's say presentation and all, when there is a review or anything, we take 2 to 3 days to create a presentation. But right now, it's not that. There are several AI apps actually where we can actually create PPTs. But the person who creates good PPT is always not the person who can actually present. You have seen the person who is a very good presentation, who does very good presentation cannot create. So presenting is more important than actually creating. Okay, so we all need to actually know how to present, how to kind of create that storytelling, enhance our storytelling ability than doing. So all this creating, giving the raw data, analysis and everything, technology will help us. But the real thing is still we. Without us, human intervention, nothing would move actually.
For me, uncertainty or insecurity, that's more of a psychology. So the one which you will prefer, that will come first to your mind. That's it.
Yeah, what I believe, I still believe in human potential. Uh, because we are the ones who are creating everything. So AI will, yeah, like talked about in the mundane jobs or irritating jobs or jobs that is repetitive tasks. So that will get automated, and then like whatever reports are there, so it's going to impact legal jobs or the judicial jobs where a lot of this documentation, etc. But again, it will replace everything that is debatable. Because see, to mimic human intelligence, whatever you have, LLMs, deep learning, whatever models you have, but still, I think it's quite difficult. Human brain is kind of designed in such a way that even Einstein was not able to use it fully, right? So to like because for human brain, sky is the limit, right? So today we have developed AI, so we don't know what we're going to develop after 20 years. Okay, so AI will not going to replace you. So keep one thing in mind: just upskill yourself, keep yourself prepared, be good at your core capability, like you're studying MBA. Then your core skill, whatever you have, so work on that, and then keep yourself updated. So that's the key. Nobody is going to replace you.
So, but
Just a very funny incident I just recalled, because Tradishna has given a lot of live examples. When ChatGPT was introduced, I have seen people writing leave application through ChatGPT. So you are restricting yourself from all kind of innovations and creating the insecurity. It's not the AI. Yes.
So, I'm just going back to 29 years back when I was on the other side of the table. Did I think about, so to answer your question, did I think about, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Of course I did. I was a marketing major and an HR minor. Didn't know whether I wanted to get into marketing or HR or something else completely different. Those are thoughts which have remained over the last 29 years. Uncertainty, unpredictability, volatility, all of this will remain today. Were there 20 years, 30 years back, will remain 20, 30 years back as well. Nothing is going to change. But going back to when I started within the HR domain, which was about 21 years back, At that point of time, I didn't have the benefit of Naukri or LinkedIn to get resumes from people. We actually had physical copies of CVs and profiles which were sent across, which were mailed, not even email. I'm talking about mailed across to us, and we had to go through all of that. Are we there? Yeah, I'm still existing. To answer your point, I'm still there. I'm still in recruitment. I'm still in HR. I haven't become irrelevant. I'm definitely I'm on the other side of 50, people say that, okay, you're halfway to whatever it is. You're probably there from a retirement perspective, but I'm still there. I'm still getting relevant. Am I trained on AI? I'm definitely trained on AI. I definitely use AI every single day. For the simple reason it's helping me. Am I worried about it? I'm not. Should you be worried about it? No, absolutely. And I completely agree with what Sudeshna mentioned about the fact that the people who need to be worried are the people who don't use AI. And on this point, let me tell you that my daughter is going to be the most upset with me because she hates AI. But do not hate AI. It's there.
So I endorse your views here that even if AI wouldn't be in the picture, there would always be uncertainties, different kinds of this, different types of, because this mind is an expert in creating problems, uncertainties, and illusions in life. Thank you. Now let's discuss what causes this question of uncertainty. What is the root cause of why are we even feeling uncertain or insecure? And allow me to give you a hint. According to me, the conditioning that one single job is going to be the primary source of income, I think this is stemming from it. Now I ask you, everyone, let us say that you have 3 streams of income. What happens to your uncertainty? Does it go up? So, that social conditioning that has happened to us, that we need to do a job, no matter what, and we need to just do one job. That has been ingrained in our minds. That's why this question of uncertainty, insecurity keep on popping in our head. Now I'll pass it to you, guys. Do you want to add something to it?
Yeah. I think this is a very valid question, that what is the root cause of all this uncertainty now. Apart from AI, there are several other issues that is going on. Wars, America imposing tariffs on India. So there have been a lot of issues. So I think nobody is thinking about how much this tariff is going to cost us the jobs. I mean, for example, all this gems and jewelry, textile. So he's hitting us at each and every front. But the thing is, what is getting highlighted is AI. Now, if you look at what as the Indians, what we are doing with AI, have we created something yet? I mean, within India, I know there are several tech CEOs are there who are from India, so they are building that AI models. But as Indians within India, we are only consuming the technology. We have not invented anything related to AI, right? And then again, like the uncertainty. There is social media, right? So that is amplifying whatever anxiety we have, right? So we need to analyze ourselves that what is the real world scenario? Like if you want to work in India, then what is the real world scenario? What are the options available and how it is going to impact me? Rather than thinking about, I've read this in CNBC, I've read this in Economic Times, that AI is going to kill my job. So rather than not thinking about it, you should analyze your own strength, you do your own SWOT analysis, and then, the world is full of opportunities for you.
I would like to give a live example which happened a couple of months back when the war broke in Iran. 50% of the revenue of my current company is generated through Iran, and it's by sea logistics. So, what has got AI to do with this? I am insecure and I was uncertain. It's not only about my job, my company, and my all 150 employees. So it's a part of life, it will be there, and we have to face this.
So, in life or wherever, in different perspective or different fronts, uncertainty will be there. Back 20 years back when when the IT was booming everywhere, so there were uncertainties. Like people were thinking the manufacturing, many of the workers' job would be taken away. But did that happen? No, not at that extent which we have actually scared of. So now when something is going, there are different windows are also opening. When actually, I'll just give an example. Remember 2004-5, that was the end of the STD era, right? Normally how we used to call. You need to go to STD and then ring if you have a phone number, both, right? Okay, yeah, these people might not know. So you might see the old movies. There is a booth actually, four glass wall, or maybe in villages it will not four glass. Only one side would be a glass. So maybe 2 by 2 feet closed room. So you have a number, then you go there and you dial that number, and there is a digital clock saying minutes, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, like that. So 1 minute is 3 rupees. So you need to cut the call at 59 or 58 seconds. Okay. Otherwise, if you sorry, 1 minute was 3 rupees. I remember that time we were doing MBA, so we used to call home. So pocket money was very less, and still you need to call. So whatever you need to tell, you have to tell first actually. Okay, this happened, this happened, this happened. I got this code, this code, this code, and 55 minutes. You need to very watchful because you are not actually getting anything from the other side. You have to end the call. Okay? So that was the era. So we have actually lived in. So STD, there are many people who have opened a small STD booth. They used to get a lot of money out of that. Okay, so if you 1 minute, 1 second gone, it is 6 rupees actually. So that ended, but those people were they jobless, or have they not got their 2 meals or 3 meals? No, they found something else. So this mobile thing and everything has come up, right? So there opened a new era. What is that era? Photos and all that. That time it was not there. So now this TikTok, Instagram, so many things have come. And in India, so many people. There was a report actually. Indians are getting richer day by day from YouTube. So was there a career so someone could think of that someone could be a content creator and I would be millionaire or billionaire by just posting what nonsense I do at home, right? Could anyone think so? There were many opportunities which had come, right? So how natural, how raw I could be, the more famous I would be, right? I would be a viral, right? So 20 years back, anyone could thought of that? So if 20 years back I had this opportunity, I would also have been a viral. So we never had this opportunity. So if some gates are getting closed, some better gates, better opportunities are also coming on our way. So we just need to wait and watch and do not stop learning. If something is coming, we need to be very open and embrace that. What is happening, I also need to be interested and see what is happening. Not too close, okay, the world is going to end, what will happen to me? No, there is nothing of that sort. Something, whatever is happening, happening for good, and just wait and watch.
I'm just going to add on to what Sudeshna mentioned. You all heard of the BlackBerry phone? Yeah. You all heard of Xerox? Do you know where they remain now? Nowhere. Don't become that nowhere. Become some something in your life. That's the one piece. Secondly, how many of you are football fans? That's it. I would have imagined a lot more here in Orissa. Or hockey fans? No, that's even worse. Or cricket? Ah, there you go. Perfect, perfect. So tell me, how many of you think that Lucknow Super Giants is going to win next year's IPL? No chance. Correct? How many of you think Mumbai is going to win? High chances. Okay. But do you know that for certain?
No.
Yes, no.
No.
What is that? Uncertainty, correct? Yeah. In the minds of Hardik Pandya, is he going to think about, oh my God, what's going to happen in the next IPL? He's not going to think about what's going to happen in the next IPL. What do you need to think about? What's going to happen next year when I graduate and I'm out in the market? Yes? It's that fear, going back to your point, it's just the fear of not knowing what is going to happen to you, which is sometimes driving these unnecessary thoughts. Okay, what's going to happen? Oh my God, what's going to happen? We don't know. Going back to the same BlackBerry example, did BlackBerry expect that it's going to go out of business? They didn't. They were giving their best, and I remember I had my first BlackBerry phones, and probably I had the last BlackBerry phone probably as well, because it was brilliant. But it didn't work, it didn't serve its purpose because there were other things that came. So going back to that same point, AI is there, use it well, use it ethically, and do not worry. Do not worry. Embrace it.
So, first of all, spot on example. I think that was very valid. Things are going to be uncertain, irrespective of what. Even if you have 10 passive sources of income, it will be like that. If not income, something else will bother you. Having said that, the thing which you can do for it is, one, be relevant, be upgraded with time. Third, make sure that is not going over your head. Your mental well-being, your stress levels are, not to a high level wherein you feel that's not working out. Whereas it will eventually, as long as you focus on what you want, it will work out eventually. But make sure your mental well-being, your mental health is always the top priority.
So it is not artificial intelligence, it is actually what will kill us, and I am including myself also. It is the actual ignorance. Okay? So that is going to actually kill us. Not knowing what is happening around us is the biggest threat to us rather than what is happening. What is happening will keep happening. We need to understand what is happening and we are not knowing it. So just keep your eyes and ears open and see what is happening and just think what you can do. If you can do still 5-10% of it as per your intelligence or capability, do it.
Thank you. Excellent remarks. And I'm going to take one more round of question. So, if you were to give one advice to a student, what would that be? Those who feel if they have given it, they abstain from.
I think one advice as an MBA student I'll give, I know during your MBA, so you'll be busy, preparing PPTs, case studies, all this, reports, etc. So you'll not be, getting time to read your books, the textbook that is given, right? Marketing management, strategic management, all these books. So keep all the books, don't sell it in the market. And once that is over, please go through. Read everything, whatever is there. Because that is something going to help you in the future. And then with your case studies and whatever you are doing, presentations, day in, day out, whatever you're doing, but please, read each and every book that you have. Even if you are not a student of statistics, go and read it. The strategic management, the marketing management. Even I'm a finance guy, I used to read those Philip Kotler book for marketing. And you'll get a lot of knowledge out of it. And then once you are in the corporate domain, it's not the core skill that you're working on, because you'll be bombarded with a lot of scenarios. So once you have read through everything, then you'll be in a better position to deal with all this.
Just be yourself and all the companies will adjust.
So, everyone liked it. Yes. So, yes, just be yourself. That is definitely yes. Don't try to copy anyone. Create your own unique self. That is important. But while doing so, a few things you also need to do, like textbook and other things. That is definitely the foundation that we all need to do. But these days, there are too much of information available. Earlier, 20 years back, there was a scarcity of information, but now there is actually it is opposite. So when we are living in this era, we are actually consuming unnecessary things which are actually valid. We are not doing. So I would say, okay, you take some time, understand what is required for you. So do not because as you are youngsters, I would tell that this social media and all this is like taking a lot of your time. In another session, I also told that in Instagram you can see how many hours in a day you have actually spent. So I used to see for people the average hours are definitely more than 2 hours. Okay, so if that is happening for you, just go see go to the accounts and then see what is your average hours or minutes you are seeing. If it is in minutes, great. If it is in hours, then you have to actually reduce it. If you have to actually see something, then you better than seeing, you listen to something. Let's say you want to improve your communication or wants to know something different, then listen to those podcasts. You can learn many things while you do something where your brain is not engaged. Maybe you listen to you're going for a work or something. So you listen to those podcasts, so that will be good. And the information is everywhere, so you need to actually acquire and make use of those information. Do not misuse. That is the only thing. Do not misuse the technology. Please use properly.
So I'm going to say something completely to the contrary of our topic today. And that is, forget about, so similar to what Sulisha mentioned, forget about technology, forget about AI, connect with people. Take that time to talk to your own team members, your own classmates, to your own professors. Connect with people in the industry. Know a lot more about what is happening in the industry. Podcasts are a great example, but direct face-to-face connects with people. There are people who come. I was talking to Professor Biswal earlier. He was saying that there is a lot of industry members who come. Take the opportunity to connect with them, understand what's happening. And one final thing, do not look at everything with the lens of getting a job. I know it's very difficult at this point of time to get that thing out of your head that I need to get a job, but think of it as gaining more knowledge, gaining more experiences. Believe me, when you then meet during your campus interviews, when you meet your prospective employers, what will be valued is your ability to connect with them at a social level, will be your knowledge and the experiences that you can talk about, rather than only your bookish knowledge that you get in an organization, in an engaged. Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
So I'm not going to say anything which you wouldn't all know. I'm sure you would know. One being that there are a lot of distractions. You will always have something on your mind that I need to do this or that. Take 5 minutes out for yourself, wherein you just relax. You don't think about any work, any study, or anything. That 5 minutes is a me time 5, 10, whatever minutes maybe you want to. But have that me time for yourself. Secondly, I feel that, sorry, I had this mind and I just skipped. Whenever you have an opportunity, ask a question. Don't withhold yourself that you will be judged. It's okay, irrespective of being judged. Whatever anybody says, ask question. Do it. Don't withhold yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'll now open the floor of questions to our students.
I just said ask questions.
I have a question. Can I just start with that?
It's me.
To Mr. Rohit, it's kind of relevant, obviously, to the discussion, as because you are handling your team is handling talent acquisition, and talent acquisition is nothing but business. So how you are, adjusting your team and the business within technology?
How do I adjust my team and myself to the new technologies that are coming our way?
Right, adaptation of new technology.
So there are two ways to look at this. One is, do I want it in the first place? And if I want it, what do I need? Yeah. So I definitely want it. And I gave the example of the fact that I had 580 resumes which came through for one position. And just imagine we recruit about 4,000 people in a year. 4,000 into 500, it's going to be thousands and thousands of resumes coming my way. I then looked at, I'm giving an example, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great tool. Now it has a lot of AI enabled features in it. To your examples, for you, when you're reaching out to someone from the industry, when you want to connect with someone from the industry, use the AI tool. It's brilliant. All you need to do is give prompts in terms of what you want the person to respond back with, and how the interaction is going to help, and that will help you. To this particular example, we have an 84% response on our in-mail rates, which is the mails that you send out to prospective. No, LinkedIn, only LinkedIn. So any email sent out to prospective candidates, 84% of them respond back to us, which means that's a very high number. It means you are reaching out to the right set of people. So those are enabling tools, Rajeshri, that we are using to ensure that AI is as a part of it, LinkedIn is a part of it, and that helps in getting the right set of candidates through the assessment process, rather than a shotgun kind of an approach out there.
Are you not facing any filtration
Bias?
Yeah.
No, not at all. And which is that, because here I'm not looking at the funnel from a perspective of, is technology funneling it out for me? No, it's my team which is going after the set of people that I want to go after. So instead of posting a job and getting 500, I will go after 20 people who are the most relevant people, and ensuring that 17 out of those 20 people actually respond back with their resumes. That's one way to check it out.
Thank you.
It's more targeted.
Very targeted kind of a hiring. Yeah, so that's how we're using
That
technology.
is reduced time also.
Absolutely, reduced time. I saw some hands coming up.
Hello everyone, my name is Abhijay. So first I'd like to thank for this very insightful session. We heard a lot of different perspectives and it was all very useful. So I have this specific question for Sudhishna. Ma'am, you said a lot about learning new technologies, and so there is a lot of information which is present currently in the internet, and there are a lot of sources for it. And you also said that we should not, that AI is not who replaces us. People who know AI are the one who replaces us. So when there are a lot of information present available to us to consume, so unlearning becomes as important as learning new information. So how do we know which information to unlearn and which information to learn to stay relevant in the market?
Okay, great question. And may I know what is your specialization?
Ma'am, we are first years right now, so we haven't chosen our majors and minors.
Okay, so have you decided anything?
Ma'am, right now I am interested in marketing and operations.
Marketing and operations. Okay, thank you so much. You may sit down. So yes, I definitely told that we need to learn something new, definitely, and for that we need to unlearn few things. So as you might be going into, let's say for example, marketing. Okay, so marketing these days, earlier we were thinking that marketing was actually branding, posters, hoardings, and all. So these days, those traditional marketings that used to be called Marcom. The profile name was Marcom, marketing communication. So there is nothing of that sort. There was a phase where it came marketing and digital marketing. But right now, it's everything is marketing, and which means digital marketing. So when someone is going for digital marketing, so many people of your age or maybe who are starting to learn marketing, you must be knowing there was a term called SEO, search engine optimization, right? So these days that is not relevant. So people who were very good at it, search engine optimization, SEO, on page or SEO, off page SEO. So people who were very good at it, so bad news, you need to upgrade, you need to do something else. And there are many things are coming. And there are many sites like Lucia, there are many other things actually which you can use. LinkedIn Navigator, for that. So if you say technology per se, so whatever technology we have learned, so you need to see the trends in market, what is going on, and you need to adapt it. So specific to your area, if you would go for marketing, similarly for other people who are in HR or who are in other fields, so we were very much, I mean, people who are used to be in the fields of training or in the fields of recruitment, we understand how important it is. But now we, after all, in the fields of training, like emotional intelligence is very important. So now we are also in our organization, we are actually telling people how important is emotional intelligence. So now there are various tools to actually measure the emotional intelligence of people. So now we need to actually understand how to utilize those tools. I mean, there are various tools for personality development and to understand the disk profile and all. There are many tools. So we need to understand, okay, learn different tools in HR, in marketing. Similarly, other areas I might not be knowing, but certainly I could tell about HR and marketing.
Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to ask a question to Rohit, sir. Sir, when the panel was discussing about what causes this uncertainty among people, you said that fear of not knowing what is going to happen to you. Like after graduating, when you enter the market, there's a fear that you might not get a job. And what I believe I understood was you said to embrace that feeling so that we can power through that. But in the upcoming world where people are getting laid off very soon, people who embrace that fear might sometimes it might turn into anxieties. So they overthink a lot, and that might lead to underperformance. So to what level do you think a person should embrace that feeling, and what happens if anxiety affects their performance?
Great question. And I'm going to give an example of 29 years back when I went through my first interview. It was with Standard Chartered Bank. It was for a marketing role in their credit card business at that point of time when they were setting it up. I had gone up to the final 3 shortlisted candidates after multiple rounds of interviews. And we were all anxious because of the simple reason we didn't know. And that was the first day. It was actually day 0, or whatever you want to call it right now. It was the first day of, and Sanchart was a big name at that point of time. I didn't get it. I had a panic attack. That night, I couldn't stay in the hospital. A friend of mine, incidentally, who got the job at Standard Chartered, took me to his home. He was a day boarder. I was in Delhi. He took me home. I don't remember what transpired, but the conversation went in such a way that, you know what, today's over. The worst is behind me. Tomorrow will be another day. I embrace that. It takes a lot of courage. I'm not saying it's easy. It takes a huge amount of courage to say that, you know what, I don't have a job, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. But remember, I'm sorry to say, raat gayi, baat gayi. Tomorrow is another day. And exactly, the organization which came, the second day, the largest organization which came in the first half of the day was an organization called Balarpur Industries, built, which makes paper. For a lot of you might know, one of the largest paper manufacturing companies. I got the job. So to answer your question, it is all about the fact that have the belief in yourself. Know that you can succeed. Forget anything else. Blank it out of your head. Okay?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon to all the panelists. My question is to Mr. Ravi Narayan. Sir, at the very beginning, you talked about how India is not ready to adopt AI yet. My question to you is, according to you, how long it will take for us to adopt it? And a follow-up question, by the time we adopt it, how are we gonna cope up with the other economies who are already adopted AI and tech?
I think this is a very good question. So, see, what I've understood, because see, I'm not a tech person, but I kind of read through all the newspapers, magazines, whatever available. So I do try to form my own opinion about it. So I'm not an expert about it. So why I'm saying India is not ready about it, because if you look at all the our top IT companies like TCS, Infosys, NC, and so all other companies. So the kind of job like the people have there, so it's mainly coding, right? So that they're doing the coding job and all the premium jobs that are kept at also, like if I'm correct. So what we Indians are doing, we're doing the coding and other IT services, etc. Now there was an opportunity when this open, the company which is this model ChatGPT, open source intelligence, right? OpenAI. So Infosys has invested 1 billion when Vishal Sikka was the CEO of the company. I mean, then Mr. Murthy and other people, they have stepped down. So he was leading the company and he was the CEO. So he has given a donation of 1 billion to that company along with Microsoft and other big IT companies. Now, just think if they have kept the investment intact. Now, as an Indian company would have invested in AI organization. Now, because we Indian, I'm not want to denigrate Mr. Murthy or Mr. any other Infosys management, but they have taken back their investment. So right now where we are on AI, we are only the users, right? So now our IT minister is telling, okay, we will build our Bharat AI. But when that going to happen, there is no timeline, right? And plus the kind of population we have with all those, I'm not going against my government, but again, if I look at the reality is something different. The people are, not ready for the jobs. I'm not talking about this, MBA or engineering institutions. If you look at, our graduates from college. So when they're not able to find, if there are jobs, they're not able to qualify, right? So they're going and applying, all these government jobs, wherein, for 50 positions, there will be, lakhs of applicants. So that is, I may sound very pessimistic at the moment that we have, we are, marching ahead, we are, going to be Viksit Bharat by 2047. But these are all, stories. My point of view, these are all stories. It will take time, and for that, it's not only government, it's private sector. Everybody has to collaborate. There should be fundings. How much funding this OpenAI has done, $20 billion. And then when they started out in 2015. So talking about the adoption, we are nowhere creating it. So what we are doing, we are only using it, right? Now OpenAI has opened office in Delhi. Now this another company is going to come. So for that again, all these basic things like the coding, etc., whatever jobs we have. So now we have to upgrade ourselves, and then that new technology, whatever we have. So our colleges, the syllabus need to be changed. So everything has to be put in place if you want to compete with all the big players like US and China.
I have a different point of view on this one.
Yeah.
Now, we are looking at it only from a perspective of, are we inventing AI, inventing something like new AI? Then maybe I would agree with what you say. But to answer your question, today, I'm sure all of you know GCCs, organizations outside of India, when they come to India, when they're setting up their technology teams. Let me tell you, most of the GCCs in India today, the AI innovation hubs are being set up in India. I know of organizations which are looking at only India to provide the AI talent and export it out. When I say export, not the talent, but the whole AI ecosystem out. So what that means is that the brains are here. The brains are not outside. We can definitely deliver Bharat AI, all of that will definitely come over the next 5 to 7 years. But AI is already here in India, not from a pure adoption perspective, but people are actually working. I come from an organization where the only 2 AI innovation centers are in Dublin and in India. Not in the US, not anywhere else. It's Dublin and India, Ireland and India.
I think, sir, I completely agree with your point that they're now setting up this innovation hubs. Yesterday, TCS result came out, right? So they are, I think, committed around 1 billion or something, set up there. Yeah, but right now, like you see, like our colleges, where these talents are produced, we have everything related to that people are getting, that kind of skill set, so that we have innovation lab. Because like I talked about the open source, the company chat. But that process started out 2011 or 12, right? It took almost 13 years. Now, looking at our processes and our systems, we think it is easy for to sell through, and when we reach there, we think China or the US will be there or they will be provided.
I would agree with you that there needs to be a lot more of focus on AI.
Yeah.
Colleges, definitely. But let me also tell you another aspect to it. Do we all know of PeopleSoft?
Yeah.
Do we all know of Workday?
Yeah.
Where is PeopleSoft today? Nowhere in the picture. Where is Workday? Workday is what most of the organizations are using. Correct? They absolutely.
HSBC is using.
Yeah, HSBC, Mastercard, Citibank, all of them are using Workday. But the point is, did any institute train people, or did any of the colleges train people on Workday or PeopleSoft? No. It was us as students who embraced it, who said we want to learn it, and they did it. The same way, again, going back to my earlier point, we as students have to embrace AI. We have to learn about what is required for us to be relevant in the world of tomorrow. And that's going to help. More push coming from you students is probably going to push the government, industry bodies, colleges to look at other options as well.
I would like just
Thank you. I just wanted to contribute here because we are talking about whether educational institutions are ready yet. That is the question that you are asking. So let's understand that AI is is actually something which is come out from some basic things, the fundamentals, because like when we were writing this book also, and I was looking at the history, and also we had a computer science professor from Arizona State University, so where he had brought in literature where people were working on AI from 1950s and 60s. So whatever you see is a continuous research and innovation in the field. So as the outcome that has come after 50, 60 or 70 years. So the fundamentals are something which is important, right? Where that is where actually the educational institutions are feeding. They act as a feeder. So whether we are teaching those fundamental technologies and the fundamental principles, that is one, and how much we are building upon that. Okay? So that actually, so it's not that AI would be like, people are talking about whether you are AI ready. AI ready meaning that, like, are we, like the question that you are asking, are we able to, do some innovation where actually we are coming up with AI or AI related technologies and all that? But the thing is that that also comes from those basic fundamentals. There are those basic fundamental principles. Like I think, you must have read in the newspaper where those Nobel chemistry winners were, and they were talking about the technologies on which some of the recent things that is working. And they have been working on those technologies since last 50, 60 years. And those 50, 60 years, they were working on the fundamentals only. So the fundamentals are always very, very important. We must keep the fundamentals very, very strong. That is why we should actually have more emphasis that whether the fundamentals that we are talking about, be it physics, be it chemistry, any science field, where from the innovations are coming, those basic fundamentals should not be lost. Right? That is why if you see some people in the IITs or those technical institutions, they are coming up with innovations. That's because of those fundamentals, right? Yeah, that is what it is.
I will just take a moment to add something here. And the core question that is India ready for AI? And a very transactional perspective that if you have AI, and I build up to the example, Tesla example that you have, how can you have a driverless car at a place where somebody driving on a wrong side gives you a stare, how dare you? You cannot do that, right? So, along with AI, we also need to ensure or make awareness of responsibility of people have. If they are using AI or we are creating and implementing AI, somebody using it has to align with it. They cannot go the other way around.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. Like, I just want to understand who has asked that question. If you can get the name, please. Just more interested in that. Okay. So try to get in touch with me in terms of LinkedIn basically. Because right now the shift is happening in terms of asking the right question. Okay, so thanks for that kind of a question. Okay. Now coming back to the technological evolution, there are a lot of things happening, and there is the involvement, deep involvement is happening with the corporates and the culture of the colleges. Okay, especially from Accenture point of view, we have 5 set categories. We have hackathon, GenAI drives, lot of online training platform available, absolutely free of cost. So I just want to understand how many of you are aware of that. If you can get some answer, if great. So there are few. So try to circulate with your friend circles. Okay, there are a lot of things which is happening right there. Try to learn it. Try to leverage it. Okay, basically you will get some foundational knowledge. By the time you come out of the college, you are going to be well prepared with all your instruments. And by the time you get into the official corporate environment, we want to have that kind of visibility. Okay, so that is a clear expectation. So just to let you know, there is a lot of intensive, lot of hackathons happening, lot of opportunities happening, online, offline. Please leverage that. Absolutely free of cost. If someone is asking to make some payment, be careful. There is a lot of fraud also happening. So be careful about that. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take the last question from him.
I'll ask the question directly. So, ma'am was actually telling us about Professor Chitra Bharat from Arizona State University. He was working on natural language processing. What in today's conversation is that empathy is actually very important and integration of technology is actually very important. But we also understood that the processing power that it requires to embed empathy in technology is very, very different. Well, I beg to differ completely. Willow chip, that is quantum computers of Google, have the capability to create natural language processing and computing power that is million times faster than our traditional computers. And what we are looking in today's world is the generative AI, the agentic AI that big companies, billionaires are working on is very different. But what we now do not have is the computing power which we are going to have in the next 20 years. I believe so. I believe so. And this conversation started, this panel discussion, this wonderful panel discussion started with Sir with Matrix. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic if Matrix is going to be the part of our world. But I think it is already there because 18.5 million people work in manufacturing sector and we do not talk about it because we don't want to have that repetitive job in our minds. And why I'm stating this? Because we do not have the capacity to process big computers that can work in those sectors. Without that capability, without that power, if integrated with AI and machine learning technology, machine learning methods, they can completely wipe out that job. And in the context of India, 5.1, that is the unemployment rate in India, and 57.4 crore workers is the population rate. On top of that, 25% of the entire Indian population is in secondary sector. We take one innovation that has been happening in one part of the world and we think that we will be able to implement it in India. I think it's a bizarre concept because it is it is making us wide open. It is cutthroat technology that is going on in this situation, and the processing power that we have been lacking is now present. So why are we not thinking about it? And going on to that point, Jeffrey Hinton, when he was actually on the podium, when he was receiving the Nobel Prize, he mentioned of one concept, the screen, the extinction screen, and that is the Fermi paradox extinction screen. We do not see that there are extinction level events that have already occurred. But the problem is that he was referring to there is a first extinction level event that is going to occur. Today we are in the 6th innovation cycle. If we talk about the innovation cycle of the human race. But he was referring to the first and the last screen, and he was referring to AI. What was that about? If Jeffrey Hinton was thinking that this is going to be the extinction of our world with the computing power that Google is already on the verge of creating, then where India stands? That's my question. Where India stands? Where does humanity stand? But I'm talking about the capability. If we just simply, what we learn, sir, is firms exist to maximize shareholders' wealth. A certain group of shareholders come together and employ these huge amount of capacities, huge amount of technology and the quantum computing power and integrate it. And they can rule the entire world with that kind of technology and eliminating the manufacturing and the logistics sector. What will happen then?
Sir, you will take that question? Okay. See, I think you kind of my personality because very pessimistic about it. But
Not pessimistic, that's the reality, sir. That's what numbers say.
See, what I'm not telling, see, you have tell there is the 6th innovation thing, right?
Yes.
So there is, this steam engine, there is, so starting from that, right? Internet, computers, etc.,
Yes.
etc. So who is the creator behind it? It's all human, right? So do you think we'll not leave any space so that, it will come back and rule us? And suppose another thing I'll tell you, don't be that pessimistic, you're a very young guy. I think around it. So don't be that pessimistic that you're. So what if like an asteroid comes and hits our Earth?
That's possible.
Tomorrow you'll die, right? So what will do the So what is important in life is your life, right? You are living, you are breathing fresh air, that is important. See, AI will come and go, these are all fat passions, everything that will come and go. Right? So don't be that pessimistic that one day that quantum computer will come. I say, you tell me, suppose Microsoft is good to automate everything. That one person they will hire, that is Steve Jobs, you'll just, keep the switch on and everything will happen. And then with that money, what you will do?
Nothing.
So who will spend that? What will happen to the markets?
Nothing. There's no market
There will be
left.
always, space for humans because we are considered as the most intelligent, creature in the world. So we will keep, place for ourselves. We know how to keep place for. We will not, give all the secret to the computer.
So that's what Jeffrey Hinton was actually referring to. Humans actually do not have the conceptual understanding of Fermi paradox screening, and during the session with Professor Chitwaral, I completely understood reading two of his papers that he himself said on this stage. I remember a few of my batchmates might remember this. He said that he does not know conscious, and what he was implying that AI does not know conscious, and if AI does not know conscious, he has the capability to move on to different neural networks at the same time, following the pattern of previous generations.
See, I'll tell you one thing. I generally use, this Perplexity and ChatGPT when I write my reports. Whatever publicly available, like if you go to Google, right? What Google is doing, there is a source, right? You just write, then there is some algorithm programming to give you the links. Same thing is happening with your ChatGPT and your this, all the AI models, generative AI, whatever you call it. So this is all, so extra layer of deep learning, your LLMs, everything is there. So it is able to mimic your human level intelligence. That is why we're calling it artificial intelligence, right? So there are instances where I put my query and I didn't get my reply because that was not publicly available, right? So my opinion and my suggestion to you would be, don't be that pessimistic. Nothing is going to end. So everything will be, AI will be there, human race will be there, civilization will be there, and then India will be there.
That's the point, sir. That the capability of eliminating a particular sector in India is quite frightening, and we do not know the answer.
There is always wise people in the world. See, what is your background like? Your BSc or BCom or engineering, what?
Economics and statistics, sir.
Economics, right? So you must have heard about the Cold War, right? Which started, from 1942, once the World War II ended, till 1990 the Berlin Wall fell, right? So there was Cold War between US and Soviet Russia. Now there was a constant fear that Soviet will either put nuclear bomb on US and US will bomb, right? So there are even flashpoints wherein Cuba Missile Crisis happened, that they were the brink of killing both each other. All the civilizations will be wiped if they will the nuclear bomb. But there are always wise people in our world. They will be at the helm of the affair, will take the decision, and things will survive. So don't be that pessimist.
All I'm going to say, so going back to what Professor Mishra mentioned, ethics boundaries are created by us. Ethics boundaries are not created by AI. Ethics boundaries are not created by technology. It's by us. And that's what we need to implement to ensure that AI doesn't take us home. That's one point. And the second is, John Maynard Keynes, what did he say? In the long term,
They're all dead.
they're all dead. Does it matter to us? Chill. Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, you had a final concluding question.
Just to conclude everything, sir, my question was, because I'm an OBHR faculty, so as a HR professional, what skills should we have right now to thrive in that intersection of empathy and technology? If you can just sum it up.
That's why we go to your courses.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not something that can be abridged. The skills, listening skills is very important. Observing skills is very important because all of that is going to be the inputs that your technology is going to use. It's going to learn from you, and how you react with it is what's going to be the most important. So all your senses, except for obviously your food and your smell and your taste, but all the other senses are absolutely important. So I would think that is what is going to be the most critical for us. Thank you.
I'm going to wrap it up now, and I express my gratitude to be a part of this interaction. Over to you guys.
Thank you to all our panelists and Dr. Kanyal for such a deeply engaging and enriching conversation. This session has shed light on how empathy and technology, when woven together thoughtfully, can transform the very fabric of human resource practices, creating workplaces that are innovative, inclusive, and future-ready.
We now request Dr. Rahul Kanyal to present a token of appreciation to each of our esteemed panelists. Ms. Jaya Kohli. Mr. Rohit Ramani. Ms. Sugeshna Nayak. Ms. Rajeshri Tata Gupta. And Mr. Ravi Narayan Swami.
Now, it gives me immense pleasure to invite Mr. Roop Shikhar Sharma, Joint Member Secretary of Insignia, to graciously deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. As we draw this inspiring panel discussion to a close, it is my honor to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of IMI Bhubaneswar to our distinguished panelists. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, experiences, and forward-looking perspectives that have immensely enriched our understanding of the evolving HR landscape. A special note of gratitude to Dr. Supriti Mishra, our Dean, whose leadership and support continue to guide initiatives like this to success. Our sincere appreciation and also goes to Dr. Rahul Kanyal, our moderator, for steering today's discussion with such depth and insight. To the faculty, staff, and administration, thank you for your continuous support and seamless coordination. And to the members of Insignia Club, Placement Committee, and MPRB, your dedication and hard work have made this event possible. Thank you all for being part of this enriching experience. We look forward to many more opportunities to learn and grow together.
And with that, we bring this enriching panel discussion to a close. We trust that the insights shared today have sparked meaningful reflections and inspired new directions. A heartfelt thank you to our distinguished speakers and to our audience for your thoughtful participation. Wishing you all continued growth and discovery ahead. Thank you.